What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to another Greenleaf recap. And tonight's episode starts off the final season. So this is season 5, episode 1, where Bishop and Grace are in the empty church at Calvary, which is now H&H. And the movers are taking out all of the furniture, life-size Bishop poster boards, crosses, and all. So Grace asked the Bishop, doesn't this make you sad to see this happening? And he said, the only thing that makes me sad is the way they're handling a cross, throwing it in the back of the moving truck. So Lady May is sitting at the dinner table and looked like she done started fasting. Then Charity walks in and she was like, ooh, look who walks in. The traitor to her family. So Aaron come by with some news for Lady May about the church and other things, and she just pretty much dismissed it. So when Grace and Bishop made it back to the house, he told Grace that he needs to talk to her and AJ needs to be there for that. So Carissa is talking to Jacob about this will, and the look on Jacob's face is like he just really not trying to hear what she's saying. He really just going at her hard with it. And she's sitting up there looking just as unbothered, like, anything you need to know. Yeah, she was just pretty much just kind of like, don't care. She just didn't care. And so he's questioning her about the will and everything like that, just to see what's what on it. And also about that divorce. So Sophia's still with her new boyfriend. They still going strong. And Charity, she was in the front of the board at the now H&H, and she pretty much just telling them that she is just ready to start her new position as associate pastor, and how she's just gonna do everything to bring a good word. So it turns out that the guy that showed up at the end of last season that somewhat resembled AJ is a guy who broke into the store, who robbed the store and stuff. And when Aaron was sitting there, when he told Grace and AJ about everything, was like, so you're off. This is good news. You should be happy. AJ was just sitting up there looking confused. He just didn't seem happy, like he wasn't moved by it or anything. He also had that expression, like deep down inside, that he was still guilty of something. So he was like, yeah, okay, and stuff like that. So Jacob, he ended up catching up with Aaron when he left the house, and he was like, could you help me figure something out with this will? And so they talked about that for a quick little minute. And again, Charity, she was in the front of the board members at the church and telling them how good she's going to deliver the word like no other pastor ever has. So Darius met with Grace about what he found out about old boy, talking about Bob. Then Jacob shows up at this chick house who he used to mess with, and she have a little girl. And I'm thinking to myself, that must be his child. But of course she denied it. I still think that is his child, and he thinks so also, because he was like, is she yours? And she was like, she's not yours, because if she was yours, I would have aborted her. I'm like, yeah. So he was questioning her about Mac's whereabouts and where did he keep important information. So Grace is trying to convince AJ that he should be happy. Even though, like I say, he gave that expression, he was just sitting there looking like, like I'm still, I'm guilty. I know what I did. I just can't, make myself feel something when I know deep down inside, like, his conscience is still getting the best of him. But that's just, the expression he was getting, never know how it's going to go. Okay, so Claire came to Bishop and she was like, what are we going to do about the Whitmores? Because this is not what's it. And he was like, well, we should just pray about it and see what God wants us to do. So you could tell that she just not feeling none of that with, all of them pretty much taking over, and they just have to sit there and just play their position. So Jacob made it to the storage, where the storage owner told him this is 2 years of pay that is owed on this storage. So make sure you pay up before you roll out of here with this stuff. And he was like, no problem. Stuff like that. And so Bishop, he came back to the house, and told Lady May, you know, when I talked to God, he put it on my spirit that we should start another church. And she was like, he did. And he was like, yeah, we should start another church. But first, I think that we should get married. And since she's fasting, he was like, and after that, get something to eat. So, Charity, and she was heading over there to Phil's house. He was looking at her picture on the refrigerator. He took her picture down. And when she came in, she gave him her engagement ring back. And he was like, you don't have to do this and stuff like that. And so he was saying that I'm still in love with you. I'm going to always love you. You just got to understand that I need this position. So I have to marry Judy or I won't get this position. And you know, I've been wanting this position in the church for a long time. I'm like, no, he not standing up here telling this girl that. And it's just crazy to me, like, how people be so into the world and doing things man's way that they lose their way and they fail to realize that they are self-appointed, meaning they didn't, you know, God didn't put them there. They put themselves in those positions. The same way they got it is the way they're going to lose it. Because God didn't have nothing to do with that. So, check this out. Darius found out that Bob Whitmore had his eye on that particular church to make himself look good because apparently he's running for Senate. So they're thinking that if they can prove that's the reason why he took over their church, that there's a chance they can get the church back. But Grace was like, yeah, but how are we going to prove that he doesn't want harmony? He doesn't want a black and white congregation and stuff like that's going to be hard to prove, but they're going to go forth with it. And you know what's crazy to me is how Jacob, like I know that what Carissa did was, I mean, you know it was bad. But two wrongs don't make a right. Like both of them have done wrong in their marriage. I know that. I'm not, you know, like I'm not team neither one of them. But it's just crazy how he be coming at her so hard. Like, it's always just that double standard with a man. Like, they could dish it, but they can't take it. They can't take it. And he just, really going at her so hard. But she don't care, though. She's like, whatever, and she just ready for the divorce. So, maybe that's a good thing. They need to just go ahead on and call that a quit. So, the family is getting ready to head to the courthouse for the wedding of Lady May and Bishop. And AJ is nowhere to be found. But earlier in the episode, he had put something in his book sack, and then they didn't show which direction he went. And then they just, cut on to the next scene. Also, I want to backtrack. Sophia, again, she's still with old boy. But when she went by his house to see him, his ex-girlfriend was there. The one who she got into it with in the club. And I don't remember. I don't quite remember. So y'all forgive me. I don't know if she mentioned that she was pregnant last season. And so she was like, he was just saying, we just here talking. And she was saying, what's she doing here? And then he said, baby, we just talking. We just trying to figure things out. And then Sophia was like, y'all gonna get back together, huh? He said, no, we're not getting back together. We're just talking. We're trying to figure it out. And stuff like that. So that's pretty much where that left off at. So she left and she made it back to the house. And then that's when the family was heading out to go to the wedding. So Grace was looking for AJ. So she ran back in the house to get him before they rolled out. And she calling for him and he's locked in the bathroom. So she's beating the bathroom door and she busts in there. And she finds this child on the bathroom floor. Looked like he had slit his wrist. So she just screaming and crying for help and blood is everywhere. So sad. She wrapped his arm up with a towel and was just calling for help and everything like that. It's just so sad. I kind of had a feeling that he was in such a deep depression that he even played that part real good to where he just didn't want to live anymore. That's just how well he played that role. So that's how this season's episode 1 end. with the first tragedy of the season, and that's AJ. He died on this first episode. So if y'all watched tonight's episode, leave your thoughts down below. Thank y'all for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.